here, actually, casual conversation with the Heroes of the Storm crew. So we're at PAX East. By the way, thank you for coming to the East Coast. We really enjoy your presence.
Such a fun con. It's so fun.
It is an awesome con.
I love it.
PAX
Absolutely love it.
So I guess that's a good way to get you out. You got your own con on the West Coast, so we understand if you don't go all over there.
Super cool.
You guys actually had an announcement. You announced 2 new playables, and you started talking about 4 others, right? So let's go with the playables. So,
all right, yeah, go for it.
Cool. So we have Lily and Brightwing were just added to the game. They're here playable on the show floor. We're actually going to add them into the Heroes Technical Alpha next week, so that players who are in that will play with them right then. They're both support characters, but they play pretty differently. Lily is kind of more standard support in terms of her abilities are kind of AoE heals. She's kind of bouncing around, healing. She does some damage. She's got what's her dragon ability? I can't even remember it.
The wave serpent, the water serpent, you mean?
Yes, yes. Yeah. So she got this serpent that she can cast on her allies. And what it does is it follows them around and it adds to their damage and just kind of augments their abilities. And then she also has a dragon that she can call that is like a call down that comes down, does a lot of damage. So she's pretty versatile as a support.
She's nice too because you don't have to babysit her so much. She has the ability when she gets hit, she moves a little faster.
Yeah.
So if you're like a standard kind of support character in our game, you're protecting the support character's healing you. That's the deal, right? Lily's pretty scrappy. She doesn't need you. She'll just help you out.
Yeah.
But she's good, right?
Good on her own.
She can get on her own. She's cool, right? And so you kind of know when you see Lily, you're going to have a pretty good game, even if you lose, right? Because she's going to be there helping you. She can help, like you were saying, she helps damage characters. She can help tanks. It doesn't really matter who she's with. She's got a way to help them out.
Is she more of like an intro support character in that level where she's that easy? Is a very good
That was sort of the idea,
is
to give you some. And she also, like her heal ability isn't targeted. You just got to be whoever's closest.
Not a skill shot.
Really gets hit. So it's really easy to kind of heal with her and kind of play with her. You got to position her, and it's a little easier for her to play with that kind of character.
And then we had, the other one was
Brightwing. And Brightwing's a little more complicated than Lily.
one easy, one not so easy.
Yeah, and it's cool. We're trying to get a lot of diversity in that. So it's kind of cool to bring out 2 more supports into the game and have them actually appeal to different types of players like that. So Brightwing has this ability where she can teleport almost instantly to her allies, any other ally, anywhere on the map. So right now, that's really powerful. You know, she needs to be paying attention to what's going on with her and her immediate surroundings, but she's also having to have map awareness and look at what's going on with everybody everywhere. You know, does she need to teleport up to this guy and heal him, or does she need to come there and do some damage and help somebody out? So she's bouncing around. She has a radius heal that kind of emanates from her. So everywhere she is, she's doing heals just kind of automatically while she's cruising around. She's really fun.
And then we actually started talking about the other 4 characters. So I think the most ridiculous one I've ever heard of, especially in a MOBA, is one that's basically just meant to die. Right. And you describe it as Wile E. Coyote, and it's Murky.
Right.
So
Murky
I guess
the
it
Murloc.
kind of makes sense.
Yeah, Murky the Murloc just needs to get you once. That's all he needs to do. He doesn't need to win every fight. He needs to win one fight. And so what he does is, he's a Murloc. He doesn't hit very hard. He's not very tough. And he dies really easily all the time. But what he does have is he has a little egg he can lay. And when he dies, he respawns almost immediately at that egg. So he'll be right back into action. Right in the face. So if you're Diablo, say you're Diablo and I'm Murky, I'll come up and I'll claw at you a little bit,
you don't care,
barf on you a little bit, and you're like, yeah, and you'll just murder me. And hi, I'm back, and you'll just murder me again. By the 3rd or 4th time, you're like, phew, I'm getting a little beat up. Oh, hey, Murky, how you doing, buddy? Right? And he's back again. The other thing he can do is, he's very good against infrastructure. He's good at raiding buildings, raiding structures, destroying and damaging enemy armies as they move around the map. So he can sort of go to places that seem like be too dangerous for a hero to be in if they had to suffer a usual death count.
So he's like a tower diver who dies instantly to anything else.
But he's excited to be there, to dive on that tower. And so he'll suicide on this stuff, and he can go to places, and you look around, and you realize Murky's just destroyed one of your towns that you thought that was way back there. Who would have the guts to, Murky doesn't care. You can also do some silly stuff. I've scouted with Murky before, too, like where my enemy are they up there? I'm like, I'll check. Right, and you walk up there, and they all now you go, yep, they're up there, right, and you can have
found them, guys.
Found them, everybody. We should go there now.
So the experience game from Murky has to be like killing fodder.
Yeah, he's got to be nothing. He's got to be like a minion. You're playing a minion, but the most clever minion ever. He's also got a heroic ability. He just throws the net on you, and you're stuck. You're really stuck. You're not going anywhere. I think we have him doing like a point of damage just to make a point, but he doesn't do anything, right? And so what you'll do is you'll jump into a team fight and you basically say, you are going to sit out while I'm letting you. Anybody want to kill this guy? Because I got him. I got him right here for quite a little bit, actually, right? And so it's very important because you can imagine Murky can't contribute to a team fight, generally speaking, meaningfully, given his nature. But now he really can. He can say, hey, we're really 4-5, and now we're 4-4, right? And if I pick the right one, that could be now something 4 and 3, right? And
Now
so
we
it'd
have
be
the
very
advantage.
powerful. Now we have the advantage.
Murky died again,
But he'll be right back. You also get shenanigans too, like as the game moves on, obviously you're gonna hide those eggs in towns where they're safe, no danger. If the egg dies and Murky dies, you're going for a full death time, right? So you want to protect that egg. So you put it in a town, easy, right? Well, as the game goes on, towns go away. Now there's not a safe place you can hide. It's not all the way back home. Well, it's not so good.
Right.
I'm not coming back real fast if I have to hike every time I die. So you start looking for these weird little nooks in the map, these little hidden spaces people don't check very often to hide these eggs. And then when you know Murky's doing that, you start checking all those little nooks on the map.
And then you're
suddenly
just walking around.
it's this find the egg game, and everybody's hunting for the eggs, and it makes for a very different experience.
Can't wait for the Easter skit.
Yeah, right. That'd be awesome. It's totally gonna happen. It's totally gonna happen. But it changes the game for everybody, right? It's not just Murky's playing differently. You're playing differently too, and that's what we're
So
going.
who else do we have coming? I mean, obviously that's a super unique one. I don't know how you follow it up, but
Well, we have Zagara coming down the line, who's a Zerg queen from Heart of the Swarm, and she definitely zergs up the map. One of her big things is she will lead creep tumors everywhere, and she can haul butt on that creep. And she gets around a lot. Not only does the creep accelerate her movement and get her confronting these bases and stuff, which is her specialty, but she also has a Nidus Worm ability where she can leave one worm here, another worm here, and that network allows her to go from top lane to bottom lane in an instant. She's constantly pushing. That creep is giving her vision. She can see when trouble's coming. She'll leave again. She might leave a worm by a map objective. There's all sorts of possibilities, and wherever Zagara has those installations, she's going to be basically a presence within a few seconds.
so there's actually a lot of MOBAs here at PAX. I don't know if you guys
I don't know what you're talking about.
and I've kind of asked the same question to everybody, and it's not super risky or anything, but what are you guys bringing that's kind of separating you guys from everybody else in your own words?
I don't know if we have enough time to discuss that. So the battlegrounds are huge, right? So the battlegrounds take the game in a completely different direction every game that you play. So we've got 4 battlegrounds in the game right now. We're adding more. So we've got the idea that you go on Blackheart's Bay. On Blackheart's Bay, you're trying to collect pirate treasure to give to an evil undead pirate lord. When you give him enough treasure, he's going to start blasting enemy towns with his ghostly pirate ship. You can win the game just by collecting coins. I've seen some games that become so coin obsessed. That's what everybody's doing, is trying to collect these coins. When you get the coins, you carry them. If you die, you drop them. So other players are like treasure goblins. You want to hit them until the candy comes out, right? And you'll surround them and the coins will explode, and it's awesome. You compare that to a map like Haunted Mines, where every few minutes the mines open up, and it's a whole other part of the map. It's a dungeon that you go into. It's a separate space, and you go down there and you fight a PvE dungeon down there, while other teams are also doing the same thing, and you're cross-ganking each other and trying to collect as many skulls as you can. After all the skulls are collected, whoever has collected the most skulls gets the biggest grave golem up top, and the golem will spawn up top based on how many skulls you took. You collect a 100-skull grave golem, man, you've got a huge advantage up top. So you got to play that, competitive dungeon, and then you go back and you play the regular, and then you go back and play the competitive dungeon. And those are 2 of our maps, right? And so we've got all these different maps that change the way the game is played.
So the technical alpha we're in now, on it. Sorry, guys. How often are you going to be inviting new players? Actually, how many people are in there right now? Do we know roughly?
We're not really talking about how many people are in. It's not a lot, though. It's pretty small scale. However, every week we are adding more people in.
All right.
So, there's only one way to get into it, and that is to go to heroesofthestorm.com, sign up with the little beta opt-in button there.
Gotta opt into those betas.
But there are no keys. Anything you guys see that says free keys,
No
give me your
keys.
Battle.net thing,
There's
no.
no keys. Do not give your Battle.net account to anybody.
Yeah,
Never
so-
give your password.
So that's where we'll pull everybody in from. So, this is really, it's a technical alpha. This is really about testing our servers, our infrastructure, some of the new technology we put in specific to Heroes of the Storm. And as that progresses, we'll roll more people in over time. That will gradually allow us to progress to a point where at some point we'll go to a closed beta.
And this is almost pointless to ask Blizzard, but do we have any idea when that's happening?
No.
It's all about the technology.
Okay.
It's all about, and there's stuff that's rough, but I think we would even consider a closed beta now in terms of there's stuff we want to change. We want to change the social systems. We want to change the HUD. We want to add more heroes. We want to add more maps. We haven't begun to fight, right? Like we want to change literally almost everything you see on that screen. We want to do something to. When we went home on that first weekend, we all came back with, I swear, 7 pages of notes each. This is wrong, right? And so there's work that we still want to do. Even then, I'd risk it. I'd go with the beta. But the technology needs to, they need to know that they've got the servers. They're not going to explode the minute we add a bunch of people, right? So they're adding a little bit every so often, testing. We've done this too many times not to know there's risks.
Yeah.
There's real risks.
Yeah, you don't want a healthcare.gov incident.
Yeah, totally. I guess the last thing I would say about diversity, and we've already talked about this a lot, is hero design, right? We're really trying to make sure that these heroes are really unique, that they bring not just a unique QWE and R to the battlefield, but that many of them bring a unique perspective. Either they're way more focused on the lane, or they're ignoring their death mechanic, or they're trying to be strategic in some fundamental way, and they're really looking at the whole map. I want to create a space where every one of these heroes is sort of like, whoa, well that's different. I haven't really had a chance to play that before. And because of our custom talent system and our team levels and all these heroes that have inspired us, this gives us that opportunity to really create some characters that hopefully really stand out.
All right, guys, thanks so much. Lorehound, you guys know where to go. Battle.net, sign up, opt in.